Hi, everybody. How's it going today? Today I want to talk about gardens and gardening, especially because it is February 9th, 2024, and I'm planning out my garden. Now, the reason why, okay, so I tend to want to have a overall vision for projects I do because I want to be able to have the accomplishments or the tasks attainable, the accomplishment easy to reach, or if it's something that is complex, tackle it in a series of planned steps. So gardening is no different. But you've seen all those gardening videos that have all, the I don't know why it's usually a guy. It's a guy and he's got the professional stuff and he's edited everything all together and everything looks neat and tidy. Yep, they spend days and days, hours and hours and days on that. Well, that does not come together by magic. They don't just go, "Oh yes, my garden looks good today. I'll just video it." Oh no, they spend a lot of time brushing it up and cleaning it up for the camera. And if they're a successful YouTuber on gardening, that's what they do. They really don't have a secondary job or whatnot to clean it up and do things. And they usually have a team behind it to make sure that everything looks good for the camera. I don't have that. I don't plan that. I have a job. I have two jobs. I have a job taking care of my mom, and I have a regular full-time job. That's more than full-time, but that's okay. So anyways, the um the garden that I'm planting this year, I've already, as you can see by my previous videos, I've already planted tomato seeds. The tomato seeds have sprouted. They're about that high. I'm starting to put some dirt around the bottom of the stems. The theory is to make this makes the stems hardier. If it grows up, put a little bit more dirt around the stems. If it grows up a little bit more, put more dirt around the stems, so that the stems are sturdier. They withstand the breezes, the outside, a little bit better when you choose to put them outside. So anyway, but that's part of my steps on growing a garden this year. But I have to have a vision to do that. So my vision is, okay, so what do I want to accomplish? Do I want to grow for, excuse me, do I, my eyes twitching. Do I want to grow for fun or do I want to really grow for food? Now, last year, I accidentally, I accidentally grew about 100 pounds of vegetables last year, which is good. Most of it was winter squash. Winter squash is very heavy. I was fortunate in that it didn't really stop raining all year, so I didn't have to water the vegetables at all. That it just grew, which was great. I can't count on that this year, but what is again? It's back to what is the vision? What do I want to accomplish? Well, this is a prepping channel. It's not really a gardening channel. It's a prepping channel. I want to be able uh, to feed my mom, to feed myself, get fresh fruits and vegetables, and basically accomplish things so that there's no transport. And I don't know. Here in New England, in the winter, a lot of our fruits and vegetables come from places like 3,000 miles away, 7,000 miles away. And, we're at the end of the line. So what we do is things come to us, we buy them, and if we don't use them within a few days, they're rotten, they begin to go off, basically, and you can't use them anymore. So what I'd like to do is grow my own, continue on my process of learning to grow my own. It's always a learning process. I've done this for more than 10 years now. My garden started out with two 4x8 raised garden beds, but I want to keep going and keep learning. Last year was the big compost challenge, so I did the compost, and you'll see my compost videos. And that was amazing how much my garden really exploded in vegetables. It exploded in vegetables. I had hot peppers, I had green peppers, I had winter squash, as I say. What else did I have? I didn't do much. The tomatoes were amazing. I need tomato cages. Because I didn't get to put the tomato cages in, and all of a sudden the tomatoes grew like in these huge bushes, and the tomato cages, did I put a tomato cage in? I tried to put a tomato cage around one and it just collapsed. No, that was the year before it collapsed. So I didn't put the tomato cages in, and the tomatoes grew along the ground. So now I'm assembling this year sturdier tomato cages. So that's part of my vision, is to get fruit. tomatoes are fruits and vegetables, to the over the end zone. So over the end zone for me is over the finish line. Over the end zone is growing them to ripeness and peak flavor and whatnot in order that I harvest them and then bring them in. So that is my vision, and I encourage you to get a vision for your garden. And the other task is getting ready to can, to preserve, to dehydrate, and that's the other task. And those visions are two separate visions because they're in different stages of my life. I have a dehydrator, I have a canner. I'm not pressure canning, but because pressure canning scares me. So I'm just regular canning. But I want to step that up this year. I have a whole bunch of jars and seals and lids and all that stuff all ready to go. I've had them for a while. I've been slowly collecting um, packs of jars and whatnot. So now I can put them to the test this year. So I'm growing my vision for the canning. I'm also growing my vision for what I'm going to do this year for the garden. So I have 4 by 8 raised garden beds. I also have 2 8 by 8 raised garden beds that I didn't do anything with the previous 2 years now. So now maybe what I will do is take the compost from the compost pile and really top off the raised garden beds, all the raised garden beds. Maybe plant pumpkins this year in the 8 by 8 raised garden bed. Something that when I'll plant the things in the 8 by 8s that tend to vine out and flow like winter squash and pumpkins and things that have vines, so that the 8 by 8s, I mean, it'll take more to get them growing out and growing growing over the side of the raised garden bed and out into the lawn. So so yeah, hopefully that will changing the locations. I'm rotating my crops, which is good. I'm looking up if you grow one thing one year, don't grow, and there's a list of stuff that if you grow one thing one year, don't put in something else the other year. Pick another vegetable to rotate everything with. So little things that like that I'm learning, but that's part of the vision. What is the overall Uber vision? Well, if yeah, for me, since this is a prepping channel, the overall vision for me is make sure that everything is good to go if we have any disruptions to the food chain, and be prepared and have everything. Get the process going. For me, it's get the process going under, just get the let's say connect all the dots, connect all the process, have the process a nice smooth process. If things don't happen this year, things don't happen the next year, maybe something happens the next year, that I'm already practicing, and it's not going to be this big learning curves. If something bad happens while I'm doing this and practicing this process, work through it before anything big happens out in the world. So anything, if the stores are going empty and the food there is spoiled or whatnot, that's not going to affect me. That's my overall objective, is to have things not affect me, not affect my mom, not affect this household. And that is my overall objective, but that is my big vision. I have Before I had my open heart surgery, I had that going. Basically, I had my garden going. I grew vegetables in the garden. I processed them all. I had apples. I dehydrated dehydrated I made apple chips. I peeled the apples. I dehydrated the apples. The scraps for the vegetables and the apples went to the chickens. The chickens gave me eggs. Thank you. Thank you, chickens, for giving me eggs. I gave them back the crushed shells and the kitchen scraps. They ate them. They produced compost. They produced manure. So I composted the manure and I spread that back in the garden. And that was the cycle. That was the circle cycle. And basically the compost and the chicken poop composted, and so I put that back in the ground, and I grew more vegetables and restarted the cycle all over again. So that was a good vision to have. I did accomplish that. When I had my open heart surgery, I had to give away my chickens because I couldn't take care of them for a few months. So I don't know if you could see the scar Yeah, they really went in. But I couldn't take care of them in the middle of winter, which was when my open heart surgery was. So, anyways, okay. This is turning out to be a long post, but yeah, get your garden going, but have a vision first. What do you want to do? What do you want? So as you're going through your day, I mean, I'm sure you already are. If you're watching this, you've already uh, started to think about seed catalogs and what you're going to do. So have a proper vision. I encourage you to have a proper vision and a more conscious vision. And I know you have it in the back of your brain, but maybe think about it and push that vision to the front of your brain to take the steps to accomplish that. If this year, next year, even if it's a small 4x4 raised garden bed, it's so fun. There's so much you can grow, and there's a lot of produce that you can that will yield and save you on your budget. Basically, if your vision is to save money on your budget. The first year I got everything going. The only thing I had to go to the store was for condiments, something sweet and something salty. So basically snacks, condiments and snacks. And what did I get I got my milk from the uh, cow farm down the road. So, okay. All right. I'll get off my high horse. I don't know. Thank you for watching and thank you for joining me on this crazy journey. Okay. Have a good one. Bye.